gathering storm clouds, brooding vapors that would persist throughout the Buffalo Bills' 1976 season. After 3 consecutive winning campaigns, the Bills suffered through a torrent of torment. It was a year full of almosts and what-ifs. Wounded spirit joined physical pain in grim alliance. Frustration followed everyone, even pro football's brightest star. But from the rags grew riches, flashes of excellence that serve as signposts to a brighter tomorrow. At year's end, rookie and veteran had reason for satisfaction. They had endured, bruised but not beaten, secure in the knowledge that for Buffalo, there will be a new day dawning. After missing all of training camp and the preseason, O.J. Simpson showed signs of rust. With the Dolphins as opposition, the Bills could not wait for O.J. to get his sea legs. They turned to fullback Jim Braxton. Shockingly, on the 3rd play of the game, Braxton was felled by a season-ending knee injury. Rushed into the breach, Simpson's idleness was not evident when natural instinct persevered over sore muscles. While the Juice needed time to achieve peak performance, the Dolphins were in mid-season form. In tropical Tampa, Buffalo found the juice still had not completely thawed. However, an overworked defense made 2 Joe Ferguson touchdown passes stand up for a narrow victory. The Bills found a fullback when Kansas City invaded Orchard Park. 5-year veteran Jeff Kinney, released earlier by the same Chiefs, gained a quick measure of retribution. While Kinney dissected the Chiefs on the ground, quarterback Ferguson did likewise through the air. Kansas City was drawn and quartered by a larceny-minded Buffalo defense that forced 5 turnovers, including Tony Green's marathon interception. Green's return of 101 yards was the longest of the season in the NFL, set a new club record, and provided a fitting finish for the enthused but exhausted Bills. For Kinney especially, it was a moment to savor with an old teammate. Jim Ringo's pro debut came against the toughest team in the division, the Baltimore Colts. For 3 periods, the Bills pressed the playoff-bound Colts, trailing by less than a touchdown. A pair of late scores wrapped up Baltimore's victory over feisty Buffalo, a team that wanted desperately to succeed for a new coach, whose association with winning and winners dates from playing days in Green Bay. The loss of Joe Ferguson changed the complexion of the Patriot game and the season. The Buffalo defense was forced into an offensive role, briefly successful when rookie cornerback Keith Moody pilfered the first pass of his pro career. There is no substitute for a healthy quarterback, though, as Ferguson's absence and Steve Grogan's presence eventually proved. The Cowboys' routine roundup failed to materialize at Texas Stadium. The Bills became the hunters, and the Dallas offense the hunted. Dallas escaped with a victory, but the Buffalo resistance won respect for the underdog Bill. While millions of Americans digested Thanksgiving turkey, the Lions also found success easy to swallow. Detroit danced to a Motown beat, but O.J. Simpson composed a fancy production number of his own. In the fourth quarter, Simpson destroyed his own single-game rushing record, the opening salvo in a 3-week assault that produced an astounding 647 yards and sent statisticians scurrying to the record book. With only the Baltimore finale remaining, Simpson trailed Chicago's Walter Payton for the league rushing crown. O.J. made short work of the opposition to claim his 4th NFL title. Simpson's 171-yard day was not enough to corral the opportunistic Colts, who turned Buffalo mistakes into Baltimore touchdowns. For Baltimore, it was on to the playoffs. Not so for the Bills. Their dreams and ambitions must await a tomorrow. Restoring Buffalo to the level of contender is head coach Jim Ringo's major mission. Ringo often sipped from the championship cup during a distinguished career with the Green Bay Packers. 8 times All-Pro and captain of one of the NFL's greatest teams, Ringo knows the discipline and dedication success dictates. Outwardly unemotional, Ringo owns a fiery, competitive nature, occasionally brought to the boiling point. As an assistant, Ringo built the Buffalo offensive line, cornerstone of the Bills' feared ground game, and widely respected as one of the best in football. The line forms around center Mike Montler, the most experienced player on the roster. Tackles Dave Foley, along with Donnie Green, are paired with 2 of the most honored guards in the game, Reggie McKenzie and All-Pro Joe DeLamalure, a consensus choice for the 2nd consecutive season. For Jim Ringo, one of 1976's most encouraging events was the emergence of the strongest rookie contingent since the bumper crop of 1973. That brought men like DeLamalure, Seymour, and Ferguson to the Buffalo scene. The new phenoms include tackle Joe Devlin, an offensive starter in the final 2 games. Halfback Darnell Powell, a clever runner with speed and power. Roland Hooks, the club's 4th leading rusher and a return threat as well. Keith Moody, a late draft choice who finished 2nd in interceptions and led in punt returns. Number 69, Ken Jones, who will put his quickness to good use when he moves to offense next season. Ben Williams, number 77, a mobile defensive lineman with hostility in his heart. And linebacker Dan Gillick, number 51, a ball hawk with a bent for burglary. Prominent among the youngsters is cornerback Mario Clark, who lived up to his advanced billing in every department. Gaining admirers with each passing week, Mario was named to the NFL's all-rookie team at year's end. The rookie class of '76 learned quickly lessons valuable to pro maturity and a larger role in the Bills' future. For the first time in 3 years, Oakland's Ray Guy did not lead the league in punting. Buffalo's Marv Bateman was the NFL's Thunderfoot with a 43.3 average. Bateman also had the longest punt of the season, a 78-yarder against Houston. Bateman's punting was an added weapon for the Buffalo defense, restructured almost completely during the offseason. There were new faces all around. Rookies Jones, Williams, and free agent Marty Smith saw service in the defensive combat zone, as did ex-Bengal Sherman White, an important preseason acquisition. Holdover starter Mike Kadish led the squad in sacks, was third in tackles, and hit with the power of an explosive charge. Buffalo's man in the middle, linebacker Merv Croker, was the Bills' most prolific tackler in 1976. Croker's defensive growth was reflected in a new confidence and consistency. Takeaways and turnovers were a defensive staple, thanks to alert play from linebacker John Scorpan and secondary members Dwight Harrison, Tony Green, and Doug Jones. Buffalo loyalists look forward to the return of a healthy Joe Ferguson at quarterback. Despite missing 7 games, Ferguson still finished as the 3rd best passer in the American Conference and broke 2 different league records for fewest interceptions. Joe was intercepted only once in 151 passing attempts. Ferguson's experienced leadership will add to the Bills' assets in 1977. When Ferguson went down, the torch passed to 3rd-year pro Gary Morangi. Opponents looking for an air attack exposed their flank to Morangi's assault by land. When the situation called for air power, Morangi found waiting targets like Bob Chandler. Tight end Paul Seymour, whose blocking abilities blend splendidly with his receiving skills, is one of the most consistent Buffalo players in every offensive department. Sometime starter John Holland was at his best in the season opener when he grabbed 2 long touchdown passes against the Dolphins. Combining the skills of tight end and flanker, Reuben Gant showed power and finesse, along with a 21 yards per catch average. But no receiver on the team, or the rest of the league for that matter, surpassed the skills and statistics of Bob Chandler. The Southern California graduate tramps fearlessly through the defensive congestion, picking up bruises and collecting passes. Chandler's appointed rounds take him through some pretty rugged terrain. Despite a master's degree in the School of Hard Knocks, Chandler survives with moves not taught in any classroom. Chandler ended the season with a team record 10 touchdown catches and 61 receptions, more than any wide receiver in football. And then there was Simpson, the master craftsman of the running game. In 1976, the irrepressible O.J. stormed past Green Bay's Jim Taylor to become the second leading ground gainer of all time. If statistics are necessary to confirm what your eyes behold, consider these: 1,503 rushing yards, a 5.4 yard per carry average, 7 games over 100 yards rushing, and 2 games over 200 yards. In Detroit, on Thanksgiving Day, Simpson authored the most spectacular performance of his or anyone's career. After 3 periods, he was within range of his own record for rushing yards in a single game. Here's the way Buffalo broadcasters describe the game's climactic moments.
Morangi to O.J. behind the block, rolls left, he's at the 35, the 40, the 45, and dragged down at the 48. 19 more.
Well, if it's 19 yards, that's 200 on the nose.
Yeah, that's 19 yards. Well, 200 yards for the Jews. He is going to break the record. Somewhere, there's a small silver lining to a very dark cloud here in Detroit. Second down and 9 at the 31-yard line. Morangi to O.J. O.J. running to the left, turns the corner at the 30. O.J. at the 25, the 20, and falls ahead of the 15.
That does it. He broke the record. They are standing up and they are cheering O.J. Simpson, who just set a new National Football League record of 261 yards in a game, and we've got 4:28 left. Here we go. Those are my kind of people, the Detroit Lions fans, every one of them standing up and cheering a magnificent performance against the #1 defensive unit in the National Football Conference. No doubt about it. Juice, they're hollering. 3rd and 12. They want him to carry it again.
O.J. now swings over to the left. A delayed O.J. up the middle of the 10, the 5, touchdown! Good play! I tell you, they're behind on the scoreboard, but you get the feeling they've won something here today.
Yeah.
A season of torment, yes. But a year to grow as well. The Buffalo Bills will put yesterday's behind them and look forward to tomorrow's.